Now, I watched Black Adam, and that movie was a high-octane mess. Good morning, folks. Good afternoon, and welcome to the channel. My name's Luna Rhodes, back once again with another video. Just a brief video. I just want to touch upon all the news and events that's going on with Warner Brothers and DC. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Hopefully you'll stay. Please click that subscribe button, that thumbs up, as well as that notification bell. Be much appreciated. So, since the appointment of David Zaslav, James Gunn and Peter Safran, there has been a very active revolving door at DC Studio and Warner Brothers. Now, they have been very bold, very decisive, and very unapologetic in overhauling the DCEU. Now, I know that their decisions have caused a lot of backlash and a lot of incendiary comments and feelings, but I think, to coin a phrase, the reboot was a necessary evil. Now, unfortunately, given a reboot, there's going to be casualties to that. And of course, most immediate in my mind is Henry Cavill. Now, it would be remiss for me not to acknowledge the fact that Henry Cavill had, and indeed has, an army of fans and a large demographic of people who loved his portrayal of Superman or Man of Steel. I'm afraid I didn't fall within that demographic. In fact, I'm sorry to say, now I know this is going to cause a lot of detractors, but I found his portrayal of Superman quite irritating. I found it overly flawed, overly compromised. There was always a melancholy theme with his portrayal of Superman, very indecisive and always needing guidance from somebody or something or someone. Now, that is a major dichotomy to what I grew up with this character. Superman's supposed to be illuminating, positive, aspirational, inspirational, charming, and I didn't get that with Henry Cavill. I didn't get that. Maybe, as I say, I believe there was a combination of issues surrounding this. The direction, the writing, and I would say Henry Cavill himself. On review, I look at Henry Cavill's premiership in this role, and I felt at the time that he didn't really study the character of Kal-El and Superman as he needed to be able to give his creative influence on the role and how the character should be portrayed. As I say, I acknowledge that lots of people loved his Superman. Lots of people felt it was grounded in a degree of reality, that they could relate to this flawed character because, you know, emotional health is very much at the forefront as a talking point. I understand that, but at the same time, I don't want my superhero overly compromised, overly flawed. I didn't feel elevated after watching Henry Cavill's Superman. I felt completely elevated every time I watch Christopher Reeve's iteration of the character. And he swoons the hell out of the audience. He finessed the hell out of the audience. Somehow he just was able to emote and embody the DNA of this character straight off the comic, even added more than the comic on the big screen. That's what you call a masterful, exceptional actor. I feel that this genre owes a lot to what Christopher Reeve gave us and Richard Donner. In terms of Henry Cavill, maybe this may sound a bit controversial, but I believe he would look back at his premiership in the role and be quite dissatisfied that he didn't play the character as he would have liked to, because there was a disconnect. Man of Steel should have really garnered nearly $1 billion at the box office. It didn't. Batman v Superman should have garnered nearly $2 billion at the box office. It didn't. So there was clearly a disconnect between the Snyderverse and the fans as a whole. There's something about a superhero being charismatic, and I just didn't get that with Henry Cavill's iteration of the character. Now, don't get me wrong, Henry Cavill for me is the perfect prototype, the perfect physicality of what a Superman looks like. So I was wanting to fall in love with his Superman, and I just didn't. I felt very aloof after watching Man of Steel. and the same after the theatrical cut of Batman v Superman. I think the biggest folly in this whole DCEU run was not to give the fans a Man of Steel 2, not to give Henry Cavill time to really examine the characterization of this most powerful superhero, not to give us as fans that time to really fall in love with Henry Cavill's iteration of the character. And I feel that that was a major folly on Warner Brothers. I just feel that they were just too subdued, focusing on what Marvel was doing with their assemble Avengers over there, that they just wanted to quickly execute some form of Justice League and assemble movie, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work. And what we got was just a frenetic, cold, unrelatable bunch of superheroes who are actually my favorite superheroes. I grew up watching DC superheroes, and somehow Marvel migrated into my heart. One thing Marvel has is charisma, charm, and that I felt was a major chasm in the DCEU. Was a reboot necessary? Yes. Even though I was really hoping for Henry Cavill to get the opportunity to really give us what he believed he could deliver to the character. Within the blink of an eye, that opportunity was gone. Now, I watched Black Adam, and that movie was a high-octane mess. I'm sorry, if you like that movie, great. For me, I just thought it was an absolute hot mess. With the worst rallying speech ever. I'm sorry, I hate to malign any kid actor, but that was just not giving at all. Now, Henry Cavill's cameo in that film, for me, was the best part of the whole movie. I was thinking, finally, he just needs the right director and the right writer. But that didn't come into fruition. And his premiership is now at a close. So, a necessary evil, yes, and unfortunately there were casualties to that. If you keep Henry Cavill, you have to keep the rest of the baggage, and that baggage just didn't work. While I acknowledge the frustration of many, I do feel, to coin that phrase, it was a necessary evil. Now, although Ben Affleck was fantastic in Batman v Superman, I thought he had the best scenes in that movie. We've got Robert Pattinson. They've already rebooted the Batman franchise, but that is now separate from the DCEU, or from that whole Snyderverse as it was. So there were certain sequences in Zack Snyder's Justice League which I thought were just absolutely exquisite, just beautiful. Number one, the Flash. That flashpoint, or almost flashpoint at the end, was just mesmerizing. But I do concede and believe they've made the right decision in rebooting the franchise. Now, whether it will work, we don't know, because they've left fans in such a disgruntled state that I don't know if people will flock to the cinema in their droves to see this new DC slate. Because I've been left overly frustrated, deflated, and quite frankly pissed off with what's happened at Warner Brothers and DC Studios. But we shall see. The casting is absolutely crucial. Absolutely crucial. Whoever's going to direct this is absolutely crucial. As I say, Henry Cavill is just very unfortunate, but he gave a very dignified response, and the guy is a complete gentleman. I wouldn't expect anything less. But please do comment below in the meantime, and I look forward to your impressions, your views, where you would like the story to go, what you would have preferred. If you still feel that, what they could have done something with Henry Cavill in this reboot, please comment below, let me know. In the meantime, hopefully you've enjoyed my video, my commentary, straight off the cuff. I had nothing written down. I just wanted to give my penny's worth of this whole very frenetic saga. Anyway, please comment below, and I shall see you down in the comment section, and thank you ever so much for watching my video. Adios for now. Bye.